Peace and blessings, love and light, and welcome to day 165 of the 365-day challenge. It's your girl, Kim, and happy Self-Care Saturday. It is a rainy, super rainy day here in Atlanta, but I'm happy to be here for 165 days because I've had 165 opportunities to talk about habits and healthy habits and tips and tricks that I've used along the way, or that I've learned along the way in my wellness journey. And hopefully you are creating healthy habits, mind, body, and spirit, that are going to stick with you to make overall wellness a habit. Okay, so let's get into today. We've been, recapping on the things that we're doing for our bodies this month of June, and we're finishing up a second week. We've been talking about, preparing, eating, exercise, some other little tips and tricks that we can use as we're preparing to go away and travel for the summer months. We've been talking about how to chew food, the importance of drinking water. We've talked about a myriad of things. Like I said, go back and check out the videos and see some of the things that you've missed starting with June 1st. So that way you know what's been going on. Okay, today I want to talk more about drinks. We talked about eating and food allergies and some things that we need to look out for, but we need to also be aware of what's good to drink. Okay, I usually start off my day with a decaf mushroom coffee, and I sip on it throughout the course of the day. It helps with digestion and something that I enjoy. So sometimes coffees and teas that are unsweetened work well. And when we talk about teas, sometimes teas have as much caffeine in it as a cup of coffee does. So we want to try to stick to herbal teas if we're talking about drinking tea. Okay, we also want to avoid sugary drinks, and we talked about that when we were talking about the importance of drinking water and just talking about how we're replacing those sugary drinks. But if you are still in the process of doing that, go with something like a Coke Zero or a Pepsi Zero, whatever products you like that's zero as opposed to the diet one. Okay, you want to get away from carbonated drinks altogether, but if you must have them, go with the zeros. Okay, they're a little better because they have 0 calories and 0 sugar, but they still have chemicals in it that will cause you to crave sugar. So eventually you want to eliminate them from your diet altogether. But if you are in the process and you're starting to make that transition from your regular soft drinks to those zero ones until you can get to the place where you're comfortable with not having them at all. Okay, that's something that's important. If you are a milk drinker, having that skim milk, lower skim milk, zero fat, or unsweetened plant-based milk, almond milk, or things of that nature. It's going to be individual to you because some people are allergic or have reactions to soy. And so pick the plant-based milk that is right for you. And that's where, all of these things that we're talking about, it's all about educating yourself. It's all about taking time to ask the questions. If you have to speak with a nutritionist, somebody who can help you to weed through all of these things. That's what I had to do. Everything doesn't work for everybody. I don't have any reactions to soy, so at times I can have soy milk. But I'm not a huge drink milker. I primarily drink majority of what I drink is water. Okay, and then like I said, I have my mushroom coffee and it's decaf. I have that in the beginning of my day, and I sip on that throughout the day, and it's just that 1 cup. If you're a person that must have coffee, you don't want to have more than 400 milligrams of caffeine for a day. That equals to about 4 cups of coffee, and hopefully you're not having that much coffee. But if you are, you want to start tapering back. But there are people who have reactions to caffeine. There are some people who take medications that can have caffeine in it as well. And so you want to be careful to make sure that you're not getting caffeine from other places outside of the coffee that's going to increase the amount of milligrams that you're having in a day. So these are all things that you have to look out for. These are all things that I'm scratching the surface on, but wanting you to take a deeper dive into, so that way you're creating the best wellness plan individualized for you, because there is no one program or plan that's going to work for everyone. So make sure that you're keeping up with your caffeine levels, making sure that you're trading out some of those carbonated soft drinks for zero until you can get to the point where you're drinking primarily water, okay, because that's going to help. And then also remember, when you're having your meal, to have little sips of water or that drink in between, so that way you're not diluting the digestive juices that are going to help you to process the food. Your body is a hell of a machine, okay? There's no other way to say it. And there are so many things that our body is capable of doing and adapting to, but we have to do the homework, and we have to make sure that we're doing what's best for our body so that it's working at its optimal level. So now you got a little bit more to think about. Think about the things that you're drinking, and if they are going to be things that are going to help with your digestion, that are going to help with allowing things to move smoothly through your body. And hopefully that'll be what you need to get to where you're going with regards to your overall health. Okay, and that will do it for today. I hope you have a most spectacular day. Be sure to sprinkle yourself with self-love and self-care today. And until I see you guys tomorrow, I say peace.